Hello everyone, my name is Ashlyn York, and today my topic will be the pro-legalization of psilocybin use in Texas for medical use only. So there are about 200 different species of mushrooms that make up psilocybin, and psilocybin is usually used for recreational purposes. It can provide the user with the same types of effects as a drug such as LSD, so some effects such as euphoria, peacefulness, and derealization. Psilocybin's effects on the brain have led researchers to think that the hallucinogenic can be used to treat mental and depressive illnesses. And after doing that research, it has a significant positive impact so far on most of the patients. However, psilocybin is illegal in the majority of the United States, including Texas. But this raises the question that if policymakers should reconsider the decision to continue to criminalize the drug if it can be used for medical purposes and treat patients. So because psilocybin is used to treat mental illness, I think it's important to state how common mental illness is in Texas and the United States. So in the time period of 2021, there was about 34% of adults in Texas that reported anxiety or depressive disorder, and 31.6% of adults in the US have reported the same disorders as well. However, it is higher in Texas, but it also isn't high in the United States as well. So according to psilocybin research, when used properly, the psychedelic can improve mood and mental health in ways that are consistent, regardless of gender, age, or even the specific mental health issue. So in a trial done by Michael Van Elk, there were subjects that were given placebo and subjects that were given a microdose of psilocybin. Over the period of 3 weeks, they were studied, and the participants and researchers were unaware of who got what, the placebo or the microdose. But overall, the findings in this study served as an insight of how psilocybin could benefit patients when administered and monitored properly, because it was noticed that the ones that were given the microdose had more positive effects, had more overall positive moods in general compared to those who had the placebo. Similarly, and another factor of why psilocybin should be decriminalized would be the Right to Try Act that is enacted in 41 states in the United States, including Texas. So the Right to Try Act is basically an act that was put into place for patients who have exhausted all other options and have been diagnosed with life-threatening diseases. They've tried all other approved treatment options, and they're unable to participate in clinical trials. And so they end up asking the DEA, the government, other options that have been researched and have been studied before, and if they can try those viable options. And even if they're illegal, things such as psilocybin, that's included in the Right to Try Act after they've exhausted all their options. So there was a specific case named Ames versus Garland that had this exact issue and was trying to use psilocybin as this person's Right to Try Act because they were using this as a viable source. I feel like as though if patients are not getting this exhausted option, if they're not getting all treatment options, decriminalizing psilocybin in general would allow patients to do and try all those options, including because psilocybin has been researched and has proven to have viable positive effects that can be used as well. I feel like this also goes into the ethics portion of why psilocybin should be decriminalized. It raises the ethical question of critically ill individuals' entitlement to these effective treatments. Overall, there was a article that asked if patients' dignity and respect as people are violated if access to studied and effective therapy is overall denied to them. And that goes into the ethics of why it should be decriminalized. Psilocybin economics are also crucial in demonstrating the advantages of making the psychedelic legal. There are conversional depression therapies that are often unsuccessful according to many studies. And using psychedelics medication can really improve and reduce medical expenses overall. This was understood because people who are suffering from depression or substance abuse are usually not cured and tend to continue treatment on a long-term chronic basis. And overall, it has been studied that this can be accomplished with psilocybin, and if it can be accomplished with psilocybin, that it can lower costs and be more effective because it shortens the time span that patients suffer for the chronic diagnosis. it would significantly lower healthcare costs for patients and also lower the costs and better the Texas economy. Overall, making psilocybin illegal in all circumstances would never be beneficial to the public. When using psilocybin for medical purpose specifically, there's a prescriber involved which controls the overall dosage, controls how the medication is getting out to those people in Texas and the citizens in America in general. So there is a type of control that is allotted for those medical uses. And overall, still giving the allowance for the people that need the psilocybin, the tested and proven usage of this, compared to those who would just get it out of nowhere. But it is very controlled, and the prescriber is what is the most important portion of it being used for medical use only. So thank you very much.